Hi everyone, I'm Bonita from rural Kansas and I am early retired. I retired early at almost 58 years old in October of 2023. I am now 60 years old. I am riding it out until Social Security kicks in, and I love frugal living. I share tips and tricks on this channel, and it has afforded me the opportunity and choices to have the freedom that I wanted at an earlier age. I hope you enjoy this video. Today, I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done recently to stretch the things that I already have on hand in the kitchen. I'm going to show you some of the recipes I've made, some of the food that I had on hand, and how I made that stretch into some delicious fresh meals that would use up some pantry stock, rotate some pantry stock, and keep money in my grocery budget. I'm going to start off with a small grocery haul to show you. As I've said, for most of 2026, I'm trying to just add a lot of fresh produce, fresh dairy, the types of things that go bad, and try to use up the things I have that I've been storing for a while because I want to get my pantry stock down a little bit. And I also want to put some of that money back into my savings. So I hope that this gives you some ideas in your own kitchen. I'm just going to show you the small shopping haul that I did. I had to run into town to get some of my prescriptions. I went to Ollie's first and I got some of these breakfast biscuits to refill my snack container in my car. We've got some ball games and stuff coming up and I don't want to be out and about without some snacks to fall back on. That keeps me from going through a drive-through. I picked up some of these tuna packets. They were 99 cents, but I had a 15% off coupon making these 84 cents, which is even cheaper than the great value kind at Walmart. They had this veggie pasta on sale for 99 cents. Again, made them 84 cents. I got 4 boxes. I thought I could make some pasta salad, maybe with some tuna and some veggies this summer. That would be really good, really economical. And then I went to Aldi, and Aldi had 12-pack of large eggs, and we find that their eggs are bigger than anywhere else that we go. I mean, look how big these are. And they were $1.46 a dozen. I got a package of English muffins for $1.59. Oh, and I got some broccoli for $2.19. And then I went over to Walmart, got bananas for 45 cents a pound. I got 5 ounces of pepperoni for $2.19. And then I got plums and peaches, 67 cents. I thought they were a pound. They were each. That's okay. I contributed to that, I guess. They were marked down. So watch for that because things are going each instead of by the pound. And then I stopped at Sam's Club, and they had these on special, 3 packs of this cheese for $4 and something each. So that was a really good deal. So there's my small shopping haul. And then while I was out and about, I got gas at Quick Shop with a K. It was on the Fetch app, and I got 110 points for that. For breakfast this week, I made some homemade muffins. I have a basic muffin mix that I use that is in my first 50 frugal recipes when cooking on a budget cookbook, and I have variations in there, but I've also made a variation of my own that I really like. It has 1/4 cup of brown sugar. It has blueberries that I use that are frozen, and also a banana. And I make that into some blueberry banana brown sugar muffins. Oh my gosh, they are so delicious. And we had those for breakfast a few days this week. And that is such a basic recipe. You can switch it up however you want with the things that you have on hand. If you don't have any fresh fruit on hand, you could always do like cinnamon and sugar or something like that. So you could change it up and have something different and just use your basic kitchen staples. This week's prep for my lunches is going to be pasta salad. I had some tomatoes left, and so I'm splitting that between them. I had some carrots I chopped up, some onions, some red pepper. I have some of that veggie pasta that I caught on sale for 84 cents with my coupon. And I'm also going to add broccoli stems. Broccoli stems are a great way to add crunch and the taste of broccoli to anything you put it with. So often we will throw things like this away when they are totally meant to be eaten and are totally edible and delicious. I'm going to split this can of garbanzo beans in my portions of my pasta salad for some protein, but I am saving the juice. I am not letting that go down the drain because 3 tablespoons of that can be substituted for an egg in my baking. It's great protein, no need to waste it and pour it down the drain. I'm going to add some Italian dressing to this as the seasoning on it, and these are looking so delicious. I am really looking forward to eating these this week. What I love about pasta salads is you can change them up however you want to. I added some sweet pickles to this one and some Parmesan, but there's so many things you can add, so many ways you can change it up. You can just start a base in the fridge and then change it how you want every day. The second dish, I decided to add some Caesar dressing that I had on hand for a little different flavor. Eggs are so inexpensive right now, $1.46 a dozen. I'm going to boil up a few of those. We can make egg salad sandwich. We could add tuna, make tuna salad. We could put it on top of a salad, and they're so affordable. So I'm looking forward to that. I even like eating them just plain for a snack in the afternoon. Here is my husband's salad for supper. He used some spinach, some hard-boiled egg, some apple, some almond slivers and sunflower seeds, and a raspberry vinaigrette dressing. For our evening meal the next night, I thawed out some pork steak that I had in the freezer, and I like to flour and salt this and then fry it on both sides and then put it in a pan with a little bit of water and then bake it for, I don't know, about 3 hours so that it is really, really tender. And then on the side, I thought, I'm going to use up some things that I have in the freezer and the fridge. I have some cabbage I need to use up. I have some rice that is already cooked and frozen. So I added a little bit of water to the rice, stuck it in the microwave for just a couple of minutes. I sauteed up the cabbage. I added the rice and made that all mixed together well, added about half of a diced onion, and I also added garlic powder. And I thought I'm just gonna make some fried rice on the side. This will go really well with the pork steak. And then I also added some aminos, and I added a couple of eggs, and this turned out to be really, really good, and they went really well together, and we'll have some leftovers for the week. And I shared with you that my daughter got married on June 6th. I'm doing this video on June 8th just to stay ahead of my videos. So I do pre-record these, but she had a lot of leftovers. We had 100 guests that were invited. We only had one table that didn't show up, so we had really good turnout. There was a ton of extra food though, even though we only planned for 100. So we've shared it with the groom's family, his parents, his grandparents. She's bringing me out some this week so that we can have some with our meals. Her new mother-in-law has a really big freezer. She was able to freeze the food so that they'll be able to eat it. So nothing went to waste. Now, I've talked to some people that said the caterers in some states, they cannot let you take home the food. I don't know why, but in my oldest daughter's wedding, they didn't offer us any food to take home. We didn't get any leftovers, and I don't even know why. The second daughter, we actually ran short. I had to run down the street to the caterers and get some more. So that one, we didn't have any left over. But with this one, there was a lot left over. So let me show you what we will be eating as leftovers from the wedding this week. Here's an example of the 6 meals that the bride and groom packed up for us, and we have some grilled chicken, a hamburger steak with bacon and green beans with mashed potatoes. There was also a cheese and fruit tray, and there was also French bread and salad. So we split these up, and everybody will have a few meals for the next few days that were extra. We also have sparkling juice left over that we can use at the holidays. And there was also napkins and plastic silverware and plates left over that we might just use for the 4th of July picnic. I do want to add that the fruit and the cheese tray with crackers, that was something extra. We didn't pay for that. The caterers let the bride and groom pick something free to go with the meal, and they chose that. So we feel like we did a really good job this week making meals stretch and making sure that nothing goes to waste. Now it's your turn. Tell me what you did this week to stretch some of your food or to make ends meet in the kitchen without spending a lot of extra money. Thanks for joining me today. I always appreciate the time that you spend with me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Please enjoy this Kansas sunset on the drive home the other night.